Okay, good morning. Today we're going to paint the Rufous Hummingbird, but since I already did a hummingbird, like I said, we're going to go back. You can go back to my ruby-throated humming video and watch it again to learn about the facts. So I'm just gonna skip right to the painting today. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Okay, just give me just a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. So we're going to start with his head. So we're just going to draw a little curve about right here. It's going to go over for the head, like that. And it's going to kind of curve a little bit up over here. Okay, so this is going to be his neck down here. So he has a really pretty orange and yellow and red throat pattern. So we're just going to come out of the neck and then bump back in like that. And then we're just going to do one more little bump. Okay, now we're going to come up here for the beak. And we're going to do a big curve. It's not very curvy, it's mostly straight, but it's very long. Not like too super long though. There is a hummingbird called the sword-billed hummingbird, and its bill is actually longer than its body. It's really crazy. So we're going to bring that line back down to about right there. Then we're going to attach those two lines with a diagonal line like that. Okay, so now I'm going to bring a line down. It's going to be kind of bumpy, just going to come down like this. And then we're going to come back down here and do a curve that comes in like this. And then for the wing, we're going to go down and try to come to that same point. And so we're going to do, the branch is going to be right here, so we're just going to imagine it going through. You can measure with your pencil if you want. And then we're just going to come out of the other side and just pretend there's an imaginary branch there. We're going to stop right about there. Now we're going to leave a gap a little bit bigger than this one on this side. We're going to come in and then down. And that's going to be for the tail. So we've got the general shape of his body. And now we're going to do his feet. So we're just going to do two little curves like that. They're little C shapes. And we're going to finish that curve over on both of them, a little bit more on the top. And then we're going to connect them with a curved line. And then you can do two lines down the middle for the toes. Okay, you can bring that line in real quick. And then we're going to do the branch. So y'all probably know how to do the branch already. Just bring it out of the bottom of the feet and the top of the feet. Connect it with zigzags, and then do the same thing for the other side. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. So now we are going to do the wing, and we're going to bring it like this, and then a little bit out with a little zigzag, and then down. Then they're going to bring it down again under the branch. Okay, now we're going to do his eye. So we're just going to do, well, not that big. Just going to do a little circle, about that big, right there. And now where we did this bump, we're going to continue that up under the eye and connect it with the branch. And then we're going to come up here and do a curve that comes over the eye and then connects with the branch. Okay, now we're going to start at the bottom part of that bump and just do little messy bumps all the way across like that. Now we're going to do a little spot behind his eye, just a little triangle. Out and then back in. Okay, so we're done with the general shape. Now we're going to start painting. So we're going to do a little bit of mixing in this one. So we're going to actually start with mixing. We're going to get, so remember, Mom, can you come here real quick? So for the details, they're going to be real bumpy and kind of looks like scales. So it's going to look kind of like scales, and they're going to do the little highlight in the eye and pattern on the cheek and stuff like that. So we're going to get our paintbrush now, just a small paintbrush, dip it in some water. Then we're going to get our mixing tray right here, and we're going to get some green. Going to get some green on our mixing tray like that. Add water. Just get a little puddle of green like that. Then we're going to get some brown. I'm going to mix that in with the green. And then you can get a little bit more. A little more green. You can just make it, it's going to be like an olive green color when we're done. Just mix in more brown, more green. Okay, so after we get that kind of olive green color, going to put our mixing tray off to the side. We're going to get some of that color, and then we're just going to paint it on top of the head. Remember to get water. Water spreads it more than anything. So the paint makes the color, the water makes it spread. So if you want it to be a little bit darker, more color, just get a little bit more paint. And if you want it to be a little bit lighter, just add more water. It's going to look like real dark green. Okay, so now we're going to get some black. We're going to get our black, and we're going to do the eye. So for the eye, we're just going to start by painting the whole thing black. Like that. And then we're going to wait
for that to dry while we do the rest of the stuff, and then we're going to go back with some white and do a little highlight in the top. Okay, so right now we're going to get some light brown, just a little bit of like tan color. Make sure to add water. It's going to look a little bit yellowish, maybe at first, a little yellowy. Just a little tan color, like sand. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit of brown on our mixing tray. Just that same brown that we used for the green, and some of that tan that we just used. Mix that together and then go back over the very thin layer, like that. Okay, so now we're going to do the beak. So the beak is just going to be black. Just going to get our black and fill it in. Okay, just like that. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to do his throat pattern. So it might be a little bit tricky at first, but you can always try again and go back and watch it on my YouTube channel. So we're going to start with just a little bit of bright yellow. So we're just going to get some bright yellow with water. Make sure you add lots of water. I'm just going to come down here and just do a little pattern. Comes down, maybe gets a little bit thicker down here. Just do a little bright yellow pattern throughout there. It doesn't matter what it looks like, just a little guide pattern. Okay, now we're going to get some orange and come in here and use some orange. That, just kind of dab it. Now we're going to get just water, and go in and just blend it. It should just blend all together. That orange and yellow. Makes it look real pretty. Okay, now we're going to get some more orange. Not too much water because it's going to look a little bit darker. And then we're even going to get a small bit of red. Just going to get a little bit of red. Very small bit. I mean, you can get as much as you want on your paintbrush, but we're just going to do a little section of red down here. Like that. Okay, now maybe get a little more orange, but add some water to it. And after you dipped it in the red, it's going to make it look a little bit reddish orange, and that's great. So make sure, now we're just going to get water and go in and just kind of blend that again. Just blend it, blend the red and the orange and the yellow. It'll just make a really pretty pattern. Man, that's beautiful, isn't it? How it just blends together. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit of brown mixed with a very small bit of black. And we're just going to do some watery dabs over here. And then we're going to kind of make that fade into the orange and red. So remember, water. Water is the key to blending. That's the trick. Whoa, what is it? Man, sorry it looks like that on the screen. It looks real weird, but that's just the water.
Cool. It looks cool.
So it's just because of the water, but it doesn't really look like that. So just blend it together. It'll dry.
It's like sticking sunlight. I don't know why. But it looks cool.
Okay. So after we blend all that together, so try to make it look darker on this side and then lighter as it gets over here. Okay, now we're just going to get just some regular brown mixed with a very small bit of black. I'm just going to come in here and just do a little dot. And you just see how it does that. Because it's already wet. Just going to do a little bit of brown throughout here. Okay, so just get some brown like that and go in. Now we're going to get some more brown, and we're going to come up here and just do a little pattern. We're just going to paint up the back of the head and then over the top of the head, and then also under on the bottom of that little pattern. And just do some, like maybe a line right there, darken up those lines right there. There, just like that. Okay, so now that we've got this part, we're going to go back onto the eye, and we're going to get some just plain white on our paintbrush. Sorry, I'm trying to clean out my white. There's lots of blue in it. So we're just going to get some white, and we're just going to do a little dot. And if it swells up like that, that probably means that the black wasn't dry. But it's okay, because we'll just wait for that to dry, and then we'll go back in. It's because of the different paper. Okay, so now we're going to get our mixing tray. I'm going to bring it down here so I don't get paint on it. And we're going to get some just brown, make a little puddle of brown, like that. Then we're going to get a little bit of black, mix it in. And I know it kind of looks black, but it's not. It's just very dark brown. So it's supposed to look real dark, not black, but just dark brown. And we're going to move that off to the side. Going to get it there. And then we're just going to come down here and paint in the tail with that color we just made. Don't forget to add water. And then we're also going to paint the wing down here. So we're just going to fill in all of the tail. And then also, so we're going to pause on the painting for a sec and go back to our drawing pencil. And we're just going to do a little line in the wing to divide one part from the other, just like that. Okay, and now we're going to get some more of that dark brown, and we're just going to paint the bottom half of the wing. So we're not going to go past that line that we just drew. And now we're just going to get plain brown and come up here and do the top half. Just like that. Okay. So now we're going to get just plain brown and water, lots of water, and come down here. Really make sure you use that water because it's not supposed to be dark down here. Just light and watery. Now we're going to get a little bit of that dark brown, but we're going to add lots of water, so it's not really going to look like dark brown when we use it. So just like that. Now we're going to add just water. We're just using water now, and just blend it up in kind of a U shape. And then I'm just going to try to blend it up until there's nothing but just white. Just going to blend it up to white, just like that. Just like that. Okay, now our eye is probably dry, so we're just going to go back and just go around with the black and just leave that little white highlight, just like that. Now we're going to get our black one more time and come down here and just paint the feet. They're not going to be very, very poppy. We don't want that to be our main focus in the picture. We want his body to be the main focus. So we're just going to just paint the feet black, just like that. Now we're going to get some plain brown with lots of water and just come down here and do a layer on the branch. It's okay if it gets into your tail and feet and stuff because that's the art of watercolor. Now we're going to get some of that tan, that sandy color, and come up here and do the top half. Now we're just going to get water and just blend those two together. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Okie dokie. So don't forget to sign your name. You can use a pencil or pen or whatever. And this is what it will look like when you're done. And there you are.